Good morning, and welcome. Welcome to Unity of Fort Collins. We are so grateful to have you here this morning, or if you tune in at a later time, we're just glad that we have the technology for you to do that. So we want to let you know that no matter where your path has been and where your path is going, you are welcome to be part of our Unity family. We like to embrace all people and remind ourselves that we are all one, we are all connected, and send you love and blessings. And again, thank you for joining us this morning. And Rev Liz is now going to give us some announcements to keep us up to date on what's going on.
Thank you, Reverend Divine. So, yes, we always have things happening here, and you can always find all of our events on our website, and that's Unity of Fort Collins, and go to the news and events, and you'll find all the things that are happening. One thing you won't find in that part is that our office is open, and now it is open with Julie, our new office assistant. We're so grateful for her presence, and she's here Monday through Thursday, 9 to 12. So please stop by and say hi. And the thing that you can do while you're here, and I highly recommend that, is that you can pick up the daily word. The daily word is for March and April. And what it does is it gives you a little vignette, a little thought for the day, a positive affirmation, and something that can start your day. Because it's how you start your day is how your day is going to go. And if you're not taking that time, then your day's going to go however. So I advise you to come in, and we have different copies. We have a regular small copy, and if you would like a bigger print copy, that's also available. So it's time to get those. We're halfway through March, but you still got another month and a half, so you could get started on that. I'd love to see you pick that up this week. We also have a few more of these release and renews, which are also a daily practice prior to Easter. And so this is also here. We'd love to have you stop by and pick those up. So what is happening today after our service?
What's happening?
Well, a lot of things are happening on March 14th today. One of them is we have our community connection. That's at 11 a.m. via Zoom. And it is a time to see one another. You know, we can't see each other in person yet, and yet we can see each other and connect heart to heart. Share what's going on, how you're doing. We also have Heart Talks that's happening on Tuesdays, and that's another opportunity to connect heart to heart and share. Today, though, back to today. At 12 noon, we have our monthly council meeting, and that's at 12 noon. So we would love to have your input to find out what's happening and be supportive and offer your thoughts and anything that you want to bring to our council meeting. That is via Zoom as well. This coming Tuesday, this is your last opportunity to jump into the 7 spiritual laws of success. Presently, we have 9 folks that have joined the class. We had class 1 last week, and it's not too late to get in the class.
Jump in.
Yeah. The water's fine. We've already tested it out for you. So that information is also located on the website. You'd have to contact the office on Monday or Tuesday to let them know so we can send you the Zoom link. And we'd love to have you join in. It's a very powerful class, and it's fun to be with others as we're doing the class together. And last but not least, we continue to have our Wednesday night meditations at 6 to 6:30, Facebook Live. And Thursdays, we've just started last week. Inquiring minds want to
know for sure.
Know. What do we want to know? We want to know you. We'd like to hear a little bit about how you're doing and what your journey in life has been and how your spiritual path is. And you can also ask us any questions. It's a time to connect and get to know one another a little deeper. So we'd love you to come. That's 11 a.m. Thursday mornings via Zoom. All of it is on the Unity of Fort Collins website. So please join us for anything and everything that you can. Know that we love you and we are one in our hearts with you. And now for Divine and our opening prayer.
And now, if you'll join me in prayer, let us go inward. Let us take a moment just to go into the silence, settling ourselves down and allowing ourselves to be present to the presence. And the presence are the wonderful opportunity to hear Karen Drucker sing today, as she always is wonderful and inspiring, and then the message from Rev Liz, and then also the community time that I'm knowing that whatever you're seeking, whether you're knowing it or not, something will be touched within you through the service today, and that will open you up and touch your heart, as long as you are open, willing, and allowing. So I'm knowing that this time is blessed. It's a safe space for you to hear what wants to come through in your imagination, and that everything that we desire is already available to us right here and right now. So I let go of anything that's hindering me from being present to the presence, and allow all that wants to come in to be available right here in this very moment. I let go and call it good and very good. And so it is. Amen. And if you'll join me right now with the unity blessing. Our unity centers us in light and peace, allowing us to recognize our God within and to radiate that love to the world.
It's my great pleasure to introduce today's guest musician, one of my favorites. And you know I have a lot of favorites, but Karen Drucker, I think she was my introduction to New Thought music. She has been a singing mermaid, a singing casket, and was literally, quote, elevator music when she was hired to sing and play the piano in a moving elevator. Oh, right, Karen. Her messages are all about healing and love, whether singing one of her positive message songs or sharing stories that are funny, inspiring, and heart-opening. Her chants and her songs are used around the world and often help people deal with illness and loss, or help them feel the need to feel more centered for the day. Karen's intention is to make a difference by using her music to open hearts and share a message of hope, acceptance, and love. Karen is a keynote speaker, a women's retreat facilitator, and an entertainer, and has recorded 20 CDs of her inspirational music. I think I have all 20 of them. She's also the author of the best-selling book, Let Go of the Shore, Songs and Stories to Set the Spirit Free. So we have the joy and the pleasure of welcoming back for our guest music today, the amazing and awesome and funny and lovable Karen Drucker. Thank you, Karen.
Good morning. I want you to sing with me. My magic wand saying that you can sing. Okay, are you ready? It's all about starting our day. I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of, is love. You got it? 1, 2, 3. I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of, is love. Sing with me now. I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of, is love. Then you sing love, 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 love. I feel the love, 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 love. Very good. You did that great. Now we're going to do peace. I start my day with peace. When I start my day with peace, I feel that sweet release of peace. Now you sing with me now. I start my day with peace. When I start my day with peace, I feel that sweet release of peace. Then you go peace, 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 peace. I feel the peace, 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 peace. All right, take a deep breath of peace in right now. How about some joy? I start my day with joy. When I start my my day with joy. Everything I do is infused with joy. You got it? Sing with me now. I start my day with joy. When I start my day with joy, everything I do is infused with joy. Joy, joy, joy. Joy, joy, joy. Joy, joy, joy. I feel the joy, joy, joy. Joy, joy, joy. You feel that joy? You infused? Just do a little shake. All right, let's go back to love. Make it a prayer now. I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of is love. Ain't that the truth? I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of is love. And so it is.
Good morning. I'm Jenny Hout. I'm a member of Unity of Fort Collins, and I'm going to do the daily reading. I am a powerful creator. When I feel an urge to create something new, I call upon the divine ideas that enable me to shape my life in positive, healthy ways. I draw upon thoughts of vitality and feelings of vibrancy when formulating my health and fitness goals. I call upon thoughts of love and feelings of connection when I want to create deeper relationships. I recognize that I can positively influence conditions in my community and in the world when I use the imaginative power of my mind and help bring into manifestation a world of fairness, opportunity, peace, and joy for all. Through my creative thoughts, words, and actions, I give shape to my life and impact the world around me in positive ways.
It's all about dreaming. So close your eyes, go on a little magic carpet ride with me right now in your imagination. What do you dream of? Life can be what I make it to be. Everything real comes naturally. Magic is with me in a place I can't see when I dream. When I dream, I'll dream of the mountains that one day I'll climb. I'll travel the oceans inside my mind. Everything's possible and everything's fine when I dream, when I dream. Anytime I go inside and ask those questions in my mind, relax and breathe and enjoy the ride. 'Cause mystery, adventure is waiting for me and you. I'll let myself float on the wings of desire. I'll turn that feeling of passion to fire. Letting go is all that's required when I dream, when I dream. Anytime I go inside and ask those questions in my mind, relax and breathe and enjoy the ride. Mystery, adventure is waiting for me. And I'll let myself float on the wings of desire, turning that feeling of passion to fire. Letting go is all that's required. Actually, I'll sing that line again. That's kind of important. Letting go is all that's required when I dream, when I dream, when I dream, when I dream. La la la, 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 la la la. La 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 dream. Just dream. Just dream. Just dream.
When I Dream. What a perfect song for today's talk, for our message. I'm so grateful, and I hope you listen to the words of When I Dream. It happens to be one of my favorite songs that I usually play at my New Year's Day retreats. So last week, I spoke to you about our theme for this month. Do you remember what it is? Did you hear it? It was about the greatest nation there is, the land of the imagination. And if you recall, we talked about the imagination as being one of the 6 mental faculties that we've all been gifted with, and yet may not be using consciously in a way that supports us. The other out of the 6 mental faculties are memory, intuition, reason, perception, will, and imagination. So the imagination is also one of the 12 powers. And the 12 powers are the abilities that we were also born with that were discovered or come to the conclusion of by Charles Fillmore, the co-founder of Unity. He basically was a very metaphysical man, and meta means beyond physical. So he studied the Bible from the metaphysical point of view, and his thought was that everything and everyone in the Bible stories was some aspect of ourselves, which makes it very relatable to say, what does that represent in my life? And so while he was studying, and he studied intensely, he studied the 12 disciples of Jesus, and he came to some conclusion that each of those personalities carried a different trait or characteristic or ability or what he calls power. And we all have those inside of ourselves. So because there's 12 disciples, 12 powers, and there's 12 months of the year, decided we would approach and have one power or ability every month. In January, we started with faith. And last month, February, was the month of love. And imagination was what sprang out to me for the month of March. The month of March being that time of spring when we're planting our seeds for harvest. And we know that everything starts in the inner world. And so we want to plant into the soil of our minds, our consciousness of what we'd like to create. The other traits that we'll be hearing in the upcoming months include will, understanding, strength, power, zeal, order, release, life, and wisdom. So those are the upcoming adventures. So in the book, Divine Audacity by Linda Martella Whitsett, I shared with you last week her chapter on imagination. She has 3 basic tenets of imagination. And so last week, in just a quick review, the first tenet of imagination was what? Do you remember? That's right. I heard someone say conception. And what is conception? Well, the idea is conception means to take within. And it actually is a word that means to take into either the mind or the womb. It's when something is conceived is a place where things originate, ideas are born. Just like conception of a baby in your body, a new thought comes into being. And so, where do all of our thoughts originate? In the womb of our mind. But where do the thoughts come from? Well, she speaks of they come from the original mind. There is a divine mind, the ocean of pure potentiality, which Deepak Chopra speaks of. And that is that place of pure formlessness, awaiting for our awareness and our openness to receive, because everything already exists in potential. The key to tapping into the divine mind and not to have the same thoughts over and over and over again, which aren't really new thoughts or ideas, is that we need to become what? Well, I just became still. So we need to become still, and we need to quiet our minds, which isn't often an easy thing. I don't know about you, but my mind likes to think about 100 different things at the same time. But the key is to get quiet, to listen. It's kind of like fishing in a small pond. You know, you cast your line into the still pond, and then you wait. You wait in the stillness. If you're making a lot of noise, the fish are not going to come around. Well, you want to wait in the stillness for an idea to land, to be there, available for that divine idea. So we want to do something called bring a question to the divine. Charles Fillmore, he would go to what he called headquarters. He would sit quietly in the stillness very much of the time. I've also heard that Albert Einstein would bring a question to the divine. You have to have a question. And then he would sit in his rocking chair and he would hold a stone, and underneath it there was a pail. So if he fell asleep, he'd drop the stone into the pail and wake himself up. So, and he was an entire genius, but where did he get his genius? He knew that it was about going within and tapping into the original source where everything was, so that he could learn and bring things like illumination to our world. So in the stillness, remember the 5 eyes? In the stillness is where we have an idea. We catch that fish or that land, that thought, that new idea. From there, we start to add our imagination to the idea. From that imagination, we can be inspired. And in that inspiration, we may be inspired to take and make an intention of taking some action. And it's once we've made that intention, we open up to the divine guidance called intuition. So those are your 5 eyes, and they all lead into each other. And it requires that stillness. It's something very important that we need to practice. So the second concept in Linda Martella Widset's book is, do you remember? That's right, it's visioning. It's about in that place of our imagination to see, and the key is not just to see it, but to feel it. To feel what it is that you would love to experience. What would you love to have, to be, to do? What would you love? Most love, not what you want, because God is not on the want channel. God is on the love channel. So the question is, what would I love in my health? What would I love in my relationships? What would I love as my expression of money freedom or time freedom? What would I be doing if I had time and money freedom? So we add that visualization, but we make it feelization. And once we're in the feelization, seeing it and feeling it and engaging all of our senses, we go into, it becomes realization. And realize can be spelled differently. It could be spelled real, R-E-A-L, and eyes, E-Y-E-S. We realize. That means we see from the divine's point of view. We see past anything that seems limiting. We judge not by appearances, but we go to the divine mind that doesn't see any lack or limitation. Neville Goddard, in his book, The Power of Awareness, he writes of this. He says, Disregard appearances, conditions, in fact, all evidence of your senses that deny the fulfillment of your desire. Rest in the assumption that you already are what you want to be and have what you want to have. For in that determined assumption, you and your infinite being are merged in creative unity. And with your infinite being, all things are possible. All things are possible. So how many of you took time this week to do this practice? Did you spend any time in your imagination? Or did you just think about it? Well, it's all about engaging in the practice. And I, on last Sunday, engaged in the practice. I actually went and had a massage. And during my massage, I relaxed. I got still. And I started to dream and think about, in the next 30 years of my life, where would I like to go if I was to travel? Because that's part of my vision. And so I started going around the globe. I would like to go to Bali. I would like to go to the Netherlands and Amsterdam. I'd like to see the castles in Germany. I'd like to go to Glastonbury in England. I would love to go to New Zealand. I'd like to go to Thailand. And the voice said, and Cambodia, because you have a minister friend who supports the children there. So I started to have all these visions and imagination of where I'd like to be. And then from there, I was so inspired to take some action because I realized my geography is lacking. I don't even know where certain things are. If you ask me on a map of Europe where certain countries were in relation to each other, would I know? Would I know where Bali is in comparison to where Thailand is or New Zealand? So, Google is my friend, and we can find anything on Google. So I started looking at maps of Europe and where Bali was, and Thailand and New Zealand. And then I got even more inspired, and I went and I started to ask questions on Google, because you can ask anything. What's the best time of year to go to Germany? And so it just continued, and I started to really start to dream, because if I don't start with my imagination and dream of myself being somewhere, 30 years later, did I go anywhere? Did I travel? Did I see and be where Spirit was calling me to go? So it's very crucial that we engage in our imagination. Now, today I want to get into the third aspect, which is often missed in the 3 tenets of imagination, and it's called embodiment. I like this a lot. In fact, it's really about embodiment. And Linda Martella Whitsett in Divine Audacity writes, imagination is perhaps the greatest tool for us to assume and to claim. The future we have been envisioning demands one thing of us: that we be the person who can live in that desired future. Again, I'm going to reread that. The future we have been envisioning demands one thing of us: that we be the person who can live in that desired future. The counterpart to manifestation of an idea is embodiment, or being a living expression of the qualities required for the idea to become reality. By the power of imagination, I live as if. I incarnate or embody the character necessary for the ideal to become real. You ever hear of lottery winners that win millions? And you know how many have lost it all? There's quite a few. Why is that? Well, it's because they never changed their inner world, their thoughts. They were not prepared for that income level. So you have to become the person who is living the vision. And that's really part of the journey. That, the journey isn't so much about having anything or doing anything or accomplishing anything. It's who we become in the journey that really means anything. We have to become that which we desire. So the question is, are you the person that could handle living what you would love to have in your life? For a long time, I wanted to have my ideal love relationship, and I was doing the practices of what I would love and seeing that. And I get close in my relationships to having what my ideal was, but it didn't seem to ever be the full fulfillment. And then I realized, and I'm going to say with real eyes, because I've known things, but when I got it from a different perspective, I needed to be the ideal love that I wanted to experience with another. Until I became it, I couldn't have that level of love in my life. I had to become the person who could handle having the love of her life. We all need to do that. And there's this saying about wineskins. You can't put new wine in old wineskins. Why? Because they'll burst. You can't put new wine in old wineskins. It'll burst. Well, the same is true of us. And one of my favorite verses in the Bible is, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. See, it is our mental capacity that is what will show up in the outer world. We may need to change our minds and change how we view things. If I have a belief that's blocked me and then I've achieved, it's going to pull me back if I haven't changed my belief system. So we're going to stop right here because I want you to do a little of this right here and now. So I'm going to invite you to close your eyes and take a breath. And as you breathe, I want you to bring to your mind's eye something that you would really love to have, something you'd really love to do or experience, and that has not been an easy thing to accomplish. And so I now envision yourself in this experience. See it. What do you imagine you're feeling? This is your life. You have perhaps complete money freedom. What does that feel like? You have perfect health. What does that feel like? You have the love that you've always longed to have and the relationships that you've always loved and wanted so much to experience. What does it feel like? And now see yourself as the person that is actually engaged in reality. Questions that you can ask is, what are you thinking? What are the thoughts that you think now that you have financial freedom or perfect health? What are the thoughts that you are carrying? Being the person who is living your dream, how are you interacting with others? How does your house look, and how do you care for your home as the person who is living their dream? Living your dream, what are you wearing? What's your car like? How do you spend your time as the person who is now completely living their dream? What beliefs do you hold now that support the living of your dream? How do you feel being the person who's living their ideal life? And just breathe that in. And I invite you to open your eyes. Well, congratulations. You've started the process of using embodiment and envisioning of your imagination. Your assignment this week, if you care to take it on, is to spend some time, reserve some time. It's your life. How important is it? If it all starts from the inside out, because it's an inside out universe, we get to create our worlds by the use of our minds. So reserve some time. Make it a priority, not something you might do. Make it a priority. What would I love? Start there. Then see it, then feel it, and then ask yourself, I am the woman. I am the man who has complete freedom. I can do anything I want when I want. I have all the health, the wealth, the relationships. How does that person look and act and be? I bet it's a little bit different, or maybe a lot different than what you're doing right now. What thoughts are you thinking? Just notice what you're noticing. And here's the question. Can you do that? Can you do that this week? Will you do that this week is really the question. And so in closing, I have a couple of quotes. The first one, actually, this one's not the quote, but several weeks after a young man had been hired, he was called into the personnel director's office. What is the meaning of this? The director asked. When you applied for this job, you told us you had 5 years experience. Now we discovered this is the first job you've ever had. Well, the young man said, in your advertisement, you said you wanted somebody with imagination. Right? And William Arthur Ward says, if you can imagine it, you can achieve it. If you can dream it, you can become it. You can become it. It just takes a little application, and it's not that hard, and we all have the capacity. So let us be that which we desire. Today's talk title was entitled, Who Are You Going to Be? You get to answer that question. Make it a good one. Namaste.
Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Listen to what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is everywhere. And every thought's indeed a prayer. May the blessings of God rest upon me. May God's peace abide in me. May God's presence illuminate my heart now and rest upon you. May God's peace abide in you. May God's presence illuminate your heart now and forevermore. May the blessings of God rest upon us. May God's peace abide in us. May God's presence illuminate our hearts now and forevermore. Now and forevermore.
And if you'll join me now in the prosperity blessing, I like to always thank everybody in advance for everything that you do to contribute to this community. In your service, your times, your treasures, as well as your gifts and offerings in the form of green love. Because those gifts, all of those gifts keep this community thriving. We are a family which is extended out into the community. And also, just to remember that all the good works that we do as a community, the green love supports us in doing that out in the community. So thank you in advance. I personally like to hold whatever I'm gifting in my hand. And even if you're doing that via PayPal or you mail in a check or drop by, you can still hold just the visual if you like and put it to your heart. That works for me. Maybe it'll work for you. If you'll join me, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God. Namaste. Thank you.
So, every morning we have an opportunity to choose. Choose how we're going to feel, what the day is going to be like. So just take a deep breath right now. Put your hand over your heart. Maybe you can answer these little questions I'm going to ask you. What do I want my day to be? I choose. And what do I want to feel today? I choose. And what do I want to say today? It's up to me to choose. And I choose, right here, right now, I choose. All right, you can get up and dance a little bit if you want on this song. Little stretch, flex, stretch, flex. Here we go. Today, I choose to be grateful, so grateful today. I choose to be grateful, grateful. Join me now. Today, I choose to be grateful, so grateful today. I choose to be grateful, grateful. How about happy today? I choose to be happy, so happy today. I choose to be happy. How about peaceful today? I choose to be peaceful, so peaceful today. I choose to be peaceful, peaceful. Now here's the deal. Whatever I choose is how my day's gonna be. I claim what I want, 'cause it's all up to me. Today, I choose loving to be loving, so loving today. I choose to be loving, loving. How about joyful today? I choose to be joyful, so joyful today. I choose to be joyful, joyful. Now I want you to pick your own. Today, think about what you want your word today to be. You say, today, I choose, here's your word, to be. Pick another word. Today, I choose what? Present, happy, peaceful, silly, playful. Today, I choose to be. Whatever I choose is how my day's gonna be. I claim what I want, cause it's all up to me. You know it's all up to me. Today, I choose to be thankful, to be thankful, so thankful today. I choose to be thankful, thankful. Let's end with grateful. Today, I choose to be grateful, so grateful today. I choose to be grateful, grateful. Sing that again. To be grateful, grateful. Feel it in your heart. To be grateful, grateful right now. I am grateful, grateful.
Please join me in the prayer of protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am that light. The love of God enfolds us. I am that love. The power of God protects us. I am that power. The presence of God watches over us, and I am that presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Hey there, everybody at Unity of Fort Collins. So good to be with you. And Liz, thanks so much for having me. I really appreciate that you all sing along with me when I'm doing my songs, and I hope that you are doing okay in this crazy, wacky time, and hopefully the music helps. So if you're interested in any of the stuff that I'm doing, you can get my music and also sign up for my monthly newsletter where I give a free song away every month. You just go to karendrucker.com. But once again, it's just really nice to be with you, and I hope that the music is lifting you up and helping you get through these wacky times. So thanks for having me, and I hope I'll be there real soon in person. All right, here we go. My religion is kindness. My church is nature. My God is a feeling. Lives deep inside. My job is to be conscious. My path is forgiveness. My religion is kindness, and I practice it every day. Now everyone has a story, and everyone has pain. When we strip away our masks, we find that we're really all the same. So those little things we say and do that can mean so much. It's a smile, a connection, a simple love and touch. My religion is kindness. My church is nature. My God is a feeling. Lives deep inside. My job is to be conscious. My path is forgiveness. My religion is kindness, and I practice it every day. Every day. Now, today I'm gonna ask myself, what more can I do? What can I do now? To be a radiant child of God, just let my love shine through. I'll let my heart be my guide to give the best of me. I'm gonna share my love, share my joy, give it boundlessly. My religion is kindness. My church is nature. My God is a feeling. Lives deep inside. My job is to be conscious. My path is forgiveness. My religion is kindness. Gonna practice it every day. Every day. his crown. Jill came running after, said, Jack, tell me, what can I do to help ease your mind? He said, hold my hand and just be kind, and I know I'll be fine. Religion is kindness, my church is nature, my God is a feeling, lives so deep inside. Job is to be conscious, my path is forgiveness, my religion is kindness, go to practice it every day. My religion is kindness, and my church is nature, and my God is this feeling, lives so deep inside. Job is to be conscious, my path is forgiveness, my religion is kindness, go to practice it every day. My religion is kindness, go to practice it every day. My religion is kindness, I'm going to practice it, you're going to practice it every day. Amen. So it is.
Thank you, Karen Drucker. My religion is kindness, and I'm practicing it every day. One of my favorite songs, and it's just inspiring. So love having Karen Drucker with us here this week. So I haven't forgotten, it is St. Patrick's Day coming up. So in the spirit of St. Patrick's Day, I thought I'd give you a little preview of our upcoming holiday on Wednesday. So just to top off your morning, top off, if I had a Irish accent, it'd probably be better. But I have a couple little ditties for you. First of all, do you know, what do you get when you cross poison ivy with a 4-leaf clover? You get a rash of good luck. Next, never iron a 4-leaf clover because you don't want to press your luck. A little silly here. And I'm going to close with an Irish blessing. May your days be many and your troubles be few. May all God's blessings descend upon you. May peace be within you. May your heart be strong. May you find whatever you're seeking, wherever you roam. May the road rise up to meet you. May the wind always be at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face, and rains fall soft upon your fields. Until we meet again, may you know the love of the divine, which holds you and is you all of the time. Have a blessed week. We love you. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Stay safe, stay warm, and know that you're loved. The divine in me sees and honors the divine in you. Have a great week. Namaste.